I just thought before I go to bed, I would tell you a little bit about my psychic reading that I had. So Jonathan was so awesome. Oh, really quickly, this guy, llama, llama, llama. Wait. Before we even get started with that, I just want to say something about these. These are like exactly the same as the llamas that you can get at Dave and Buster's, and they cost like a whole lot of, like a couple of thousand tickets, maybe like 1,500 tickets or something, and you have no idea how much money you would have to spend to get that many tickets. And after Valentine's Day, these guys were on sale at 90% off, so they were originally $10, so I got these guys for $1 each. And the only difference between these ones and the ones at Dave and Buster's is that there's a little kiss hug so that was awesome. So for this one, I'm gonna be snuggling my llamas, my llama triplets. I'm very excited about my llama. You don't understand. Every time I go to Dave and Buster's, I think I've been like 4 or 5 times now, I always look at the llamas and I contemplate exchanging my tickets for them. But I never do it because I just can't justify it. And look, yes, the law of attraction only works for me when it comes to stuffed animals. All right. Getting back to the psychic session. So when I walked in, Jonathan was like a really, really sweet energy. I just want to say this right now. I didn't grow up religious, and so I didn't like grow up going to church or anything, but I also didn't grow up being like atheist or closed-minded or anything like that about the world. So I grew up with not much information about anything really. And I was like, my parents were always encouraging me to make my own decisions based off of how I want to live my life, and their philosophy was always just be a good person. So I've extended that into my life, and that's what I always try and say to people. Like, I don't, like, if you're religious, great. If you're not religious, great. As long as you form your own opinions based off of your own feelings about what you think the universe holds. I mean, none of us really truly know, so we can't exactly judge anybody based off of their beliefs. So when it comes to things like psychics and mediums, I definitely feel like there is so much in this universe that we cannot explain. There's a lot of things that we can't see, hear, smell, touch, anything with our senses. So who are we to judge if someone is telling us that they can sense people that have passed on or have died from this physical experience, and that they can't predict what the near future may hold based off of how they see our paths going. Obviously, we all have different journeys and we have free will, and I know with me personally, I have a lot of emotional blockages that kind of stop me from making certain decisions. So like I'm very fearful of meeting new people, and I'm scared of being hurt. And it's funny, this guy Jonathan, he didn't know me from before at all. He hadn't looked me up. He doesn't know anything about my history or about where I come from or anything like that. And a lot of what he was saying really made sense, and he was able to just speak truth in a really unconditional, loving way, because he's just any proper psychic or medium that I've ever met are very, very kind, selfless people that are just want to help others, and they understand that their gift can sometimes be a little frightening for some people, or others don't really believe it, or they get so much skepticism when all they really want to do is just help people. So one of my first questions to Jonathan was, look, if you see something not going well, or if you see that I'm on the wrong path, or if I'm headed for another heartbreak or another painful experience, would you tell me? And he said, absolutely. Of course, I don't want to bring bad news, but if I need to give someone what I think would be bad news, that's the right thing to do. And especially because I want to know. If I'm on the wrong path, I want to know so I can get off it, because life is shorter than you think, and it's hard no matter what you choose to do. And I think it was Jim Carrey that said in his documentary that his father worked his whole life. He still failed at what he didn't want to do. So he decided he was going to go for his dream, because you can fail at your backup plan. So that's kind of how I live my life. I'm working really hard towards my dream, and every failure failure or what I call unjust thing that happens to me, it's just it takes its toll on your soul. So that was the first thing I wanted to get out of the way. I wanted to know, am I on the wrong path? And the reason why sometimes I think I may be on the wrong path is because I've been at it a while and I've been hurt a lot along the way, and I don't want that to happen anymore. And he could tell. He was like, did you go through something that seemed like a huge breakup, but it wasn't really a relationship breakup? And he said, last year. And I said, yes. And he said, was that really traumatizing for you? Like, were you really invested in this relationship? And I'm like, absolutely. I was 100% invested in this relationship. I guess the other person wasn't. Sometimes when your loyalties and your feelings and your care isn't returned from another person, it hurts. Of course it hurts. So he was saying you need to grieve and let it go and keep moving on the path that you've chosen. He was saying that I've chosen the right path. It's a harder path than most people. He's like, hang on, where do you come from? Like, because I see you coming from, he's like, I don't want to, like, it's not in a judgmental way, but you've come from like deep down, and now you're like here, like this is amazing. And I took a second. I'm like, yeah, I come from hell. And any Australian that knows where I'm from, when I say the western suburbs, I just had a conversation with my mother the other day of how dangerous the area I'm from is right now. I want nothing more than to take my family out of that area. I've begged my mom to just come here so I can take care of her and make sure she's not in an unsafe place. But yeah, I come from the freaking hood of Melbourne, and it is rough. And it's hard to believe I am where I am and doing what I do and speaking to the amazing people I get to speak to. And he also acknowledged that I've done it and continue to do it within my moral compass. And that's something that's very important to me. And he's like, and that's another reason why it's harder for you, because you're not willing to give up some very specific moralistic or principles that I have to get further ahead. Like, he's like, I just want to say this off the bat, you're too nice. And I'm like, yeah, I know. like, you know, those, you know, and I'm sure I'm preaching to the converted here, because usually the only people that follow me and watch what I do are people that have a very similar soul to me. When I say this will resonate with you, or you'll feel it when I say you're very empathetic, meaning you put yourself in other people's shoes a lot. You treat people how you wish to be treated, and you will never, ever, ever do anything ever that would take away from another person's dream or opportunity. You will never seize an opportunity if you know that someone else is not getting something because of you. And I'm like, yeah, that's me 100%, because I fully believe that we live in a world where we can make things happen and we can make our dreams come true that will not take away from another person. Yeah, a lot of people in this industry disagree with me on that, and you know what? They've been proven right over and over again. However, this is my journey. This is my choice, and everything I do is my choice, and everything I don't do is my choice, and I still choose the harder path. I do. So that was his main thing. He was like, you are too nice for this town. And I really appreciated that. And I know what he means when he says that. I'm a target for people that have bad intentions. And I'm sure a lot of my friends on here completely understand what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do? Like, what can I do that's within my control, within my moral compass, that will help me get to where I want to be? And he's like, networking. And I just like laughed. I'm so bad at networking. Aussies out there, you will know that we do not ask for anything, nor do we ask for assistance or help unless the situation is life or death. Like, we are on our deathbeds, desperately need help. We will not ask for anything. So that's a hurdle. And he was saying, stick to the new paths that are opening up, because I've been working with a lot of producers and songwriters over the Christmas and New Year break, and all of the people I've been working with have been lovely and amazing, but unfortunately nothing's felt like how I felt when I wrote Come Through with my friend. That day he was on the music thing, and I was like writing and singing, and I went into the bathroom, and I've told this story a million times, and I cried because that's the experience that I want to have every time I write a song. It was truthful. It was such a liberating experience, and the music felt right, and the vibe was right, and the message I wanted to get across was right, and that everything about writing come through was so overwhelmingly amazing that I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do all the time, and I want to just continue to grow. But you know, like, I need to obviously branch off and find that team and that soulmate music team. So I need to get out there and network and talk to people and put myself out there and find out where my soulmates are in my music world. You know, like, you know how like actors, there's like some actors out there, like Johnny Depp always works with Tim Burton, and it just like works, you know. I really, really, really want to have that experience, and I really want to make more music because I have every reason to quit and leave. I've been given every reason and every opportunity to quit and leave, be it health problems, be it the fact that I come from a poor family, and the fact that I have zero to little confidence in myself. I don't think very highly of myself. Like, a lot of the time I feel really bad about myself, and I've been finding that I've been getting angry a lot, and he could tell. Jonathan could tell. I've been very he said frustrated, but I know it's anger, and I'm angry. I get very angry with injustice. I look at things that happen in the world that are not fair, and I get mad, and usually it's good people that have bad things happen to them or are in terrible situations, and it just makes me so angry because I feel out of control and like I can't help, which is obviously why I choose very specific foundations that I work with, like with dogs, and animals, and you know, the human trafficking situation. Like, I just feel so out of control, and then I hear stories about people that they get a whole lot of things happening in their lives and opportunities, and I'm sure you guys experience this too, where these great things are happening to these people and you're happy for them, but you're like, hang on, you did this to get there and you had it easy, or your parents had lots of money, and or your dad works in this company that knows this person, and here I am on my own with no money and no prospects. And I get messages from you guys all the time, so many beautiful people out there that have these big dreams and work really hard and are extremely passionate and have no family to help them, or guidance, or mentors, or money, and it does leave you vulnerable and open to evil people taking you on, you know, being seduced by people that you think are being nice to you, but really they just want to take you for a ride. I want to be an example of someone that can overcome that, and a lot of the time I feel like I'm not being that example, and it frustrates me a lot. So he got a lot of what I've been going through, a transition phase that I'm in right now between I've got my sights set on a very mature way of looking at music. I used to just be very, I want to be a pop star, I want to be a pop singer, I want to be pop this, pop that, and I completely dismissed my jazz roots, even though that's what I really love. So I'm glad that I'm having this more mature outlook on music as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. He said to keep pursuing these avenues and these people that have recently come into my life, and accept help, try and get through the fear of asking for help, and network and collaborate, which is what everyone says in this industry, which is not as easy if you don't have like daddy either paying for it, or a family member, or a close friend, you know, just vouching for you within the industry. You know, it's hard when you're a person that's just extremely passionate about art and the creative process, and you're a very sensitive person. He said, I'm extremely sensitive. He's like, you're like me, you're very sensitive. What are you doing living in LA? I get that all the time from healers and psychics. They always say, why are you in LA? It's like a cesspool of judgment and evil and selfishness, and here you are trying to like make the dream, like the little child dreams come true in this crazy world. And I'm like, That's what I want. And I sat there and I looked at him and he's like, it's still what you want, isn't it? And I'm like, more than anything in the world. And then he was like asking about romantic relationships and I just laughed and he's like, yeah, you are so not even in that space. He's like, you don't even have to worry about that. That'll come later. Just focus on career stuff. And I'm like, okay, I will. I do. Yeah. So it was really good. It was a really, really cool experience. I'd love to do it again. Maybe next time I'll bring you guys in. I wasn't sure if he would feel comfortable if I vlogged it the whole time. But next time when he's back in town, I'll bring the vlog camera in and hopefully you guys can listen to it with your own ears. And he said by June, I should be feeling more positive about things. Granted, as long as I take steps to step through some of my fears, do what he suggested that I do, that by June hopefully guys will be seeing or experiencing some really cool stuff. So I don't know, we'll see. I don't know, I think I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be hurt anymore. I just want to be happy and I just want to spread that joy to other people. And we'll see. Say goodnight, Llama 1. Say goodnight, Llama 2. Say goodnight, Llama 3. I love you, Katyaators. If you've ever gone to see a medium or a psychic, please tell me your stories. I want to know like what your experiences were and, you know, do you believe it? Do you not believe it? I want to know what you think about it. I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing night.